my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed, my darlings. Are we living and loving the outfit? This is by K and Oli, and it is an absolute adorable little jumpsuit. Shorts. I never wear shorts out here in these YouTube streets, but this had me going on when I tell you. I love the color. Oh, it just makes me so happy. And the shorts are nice length. It's absolutely gorgeous. I would wear this going out for a little lunch, to go run errands, to go and see a girlfriend. I absolutely would wear it. I live and love it. I support Fumi Nation businesses. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and what? YouTube, baby. Send me all of your businesses right here. It can be the US, it can be the UK. If you want to have a consultation with me, go right ahead and we will talk. Darlings, I am going to Manchester. I'll be in Manchester on the 5th of October, and I am going to be there for a conference. Thank you so very much for inviting me and inviting me to be a guest speaker at the She Leads for Legacy Conference. Fumi Nation, yes, after the conference, I will take pictures with all of you. I cannot wait to get out there and meet all of you, and it's going to be a fantastic conference. And I think for a lot of us, we're going to leave there feeling bigger, better than when we walked in. Talking about feeling bigger and more established, guess what, my darlings? Jane Harris has been kind enough to have another class. We are going to have yet another masterclass on how to build your business, how to build your brand. Wait for the punchline, my darlings. Guess what? You're going to see me in class. You're going to see me in class. I'm feeling so confident, so fabulous, because my brand is getting better, because now I know what to look for. Now I know parts of the business that's going to help me forge forward. It is not to be missed. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? It's not to be missed. The tickets are down below. Go ahead and sign up for the 28th. You're going to learn, for those of you who want to have your wig business, go right ahead, have your wig business. But it's not only for those who want to go into wig businesses. If you have any kind of business that you have in your mind, and you want to have that financial freedom, independence from your dreary 9-to-5, where you're doing what you don't love, or you're coming out of taking care of your children and you're still young, fabulous, and you want to get things on and kicking. When I tell you that this class is not only a requirement, this is the model, and I said it the last time, this is the model that you need and core for any business strategy. You're getting it literally for free. That's all I can tell you. I don't know what else to say. I've been out here in these streets, and I coulda, shoulda, woulda had my brand. I didn't know how to start it. Quiet as it's kept. I don't mind. I'm in my 50s. I can speak my truth, and that is truly the truth. So I will see you in class, and I will also see you in Manchester. Do not forget to get your tickets. Everything is going to be below. So why are we here? Circa 1995, I came to New York City. Selena had just passed away, and everybody was tuning in to the O.J. Simpson case. We also had Diddy Pooh, and Diddy had just launched his Bad Boy Records in 93. Yes, we had Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams had just been signed with Part 97. In those days, for those of you that know, those that went to radio and those that went to TV were completely two different categories. If you had a radio face, you were in the radios. That's how they called it, which meant that they felt that you were not that attractive for you to be on television. Wendy was attractive. She was tall, she was athletic, she was lean with those long legs. And so they felt that, you know what, come on through and come and do radio. Hence why I feel till this very day, she overcompensated it and she had that big bust. Wendy was a beast. She still is. And when I say that, I say it with the deepest respect, because it's a man's business. And again, in those days, you did not have many DJs. You really did not. And she could hit it out with the best of them. We also had Howard Stern, and Howard Stern had a female sidekick, Robin. I can't remember her last name. But what I'm trying to say is that Wendy was out there on her own, and she did a sensational job. As a matter of fact, I think that she even interviewed OG just to show what Wendy's influence was. Anywho, again, in those days, if you wanted to hear the latest song, it was on the radios. It was on the radios, and so there was a very interesting relationship with radios and artists, because they needed to get their music out there, and they also had the power to say, I don't want my music to be played up out there. Wendy had a strong name. She was known out here in the streets, and as far as I'm concerned, especially a male-dominated industry, she did a phenomenal job. Needless to say, Diddy Boy went to Cancun with his crew. Diddy too was a huge influence, might I add. And he was out in Cancun, and somebody pulled his shorts down. But Wendy's people were out there, paparazzi out there, trying to get the latest picture. You know what I mean? And so here was Diddy with his trousers pulled down, and she got the picture and she was going to publish it. This was the beginning of herself and Diddy's beef.
Bro, you started the conversation earlier about what did I mean about the power Puff had. Puff got one of the hottest DJs off of Hot 97 because she wanted to put up a picture of him getting his pants pulled down. You understand what I'm saying? Puff had power. We were in Cancun, and we were on our way to the island of women. You understand? And this is all it was, bro. For whatever reason, dude was playing with Puff. He went behind him and grabbed his trunks and pulled them down. When he grabbed his trunk to pull them down, some girls that was taking pictures. They took that picture and emailed it back to Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams said she had him in a compromising position and like it was gay porn or something like that. And she was going to put it out. So they stopped her from putting it out.
And they got her fired from High 97 because of that.
We were in California at the time, and Puff was shooting a layout for Billboard. I was the one who put him in the damn pool. What happened was that Wendy had somehow shown people that email. You hear me? She's shown people that email. Puff told Hot 97 if they didn't get rid of her, you understand, before he got back in New York, that they was not going to get any music from any of his friends, any of the record labels executives that was cool with him. Everybody was going to boycott their station. We was out in LA for about 3 days before we landed back in New York. Wendy Williams was in the radio station in Philly.
That was the power of Diddy at that time. And I can tell you here and now, there were a lot of things that happened allegedly behind the scenes. Allegedly. Yes, darling, let me remind myself. Allegedly behind the scenes. And so Wendy knew. Wendy knew what exactly? This is the point that I'm coming to. Wendy knew that Diddy was straight up gay. Not bi, not adventurous, not curious, straight up gay. Now let me start by saying there's nothing wrong in being who you are. As a matter of fact, I stand for it. I'm a huge advocate for the LGBTQ community. Huge. I stand for them in all. Stand in your truth.
Yes, it's very effeminized, but be very clear. There were lots of homosexuals in hip hop back in the 80s too. That was what's worse, hip hop wearing skirts or hip hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny, which is your sexuality.
You see, all of this that is happening, that is coming out, and all of the disturbing, that's all I can say, disturbing stories that is coming out, is because Diddy could not stand in his truth. He could not stand in his truth and be honest about who he is and who he was. And so he took so many casualties along with him. I tried to understand, I promise you I did. Why would a man want to watch his girlfriend, his significant other, his partner, his loved one having intercourse with another man and get off on that? Why? Because he wasn't looking at Cassie. Because he was looking at all the males. For you to have workers here and there, males, is because that was what he wanted. That was who he is. And Wendy tapped into it. And Wendy knew. And so the journey and the relationship began. She had her television show, and Diddy reached out to her to say, let me come on the show to prove that, you know, there's no bad blood between us. Oh, it was always there, because if you watch the episode, you will see how nervous she was.
This has been decades in the making.
Yes, yes.
Don't be a stranger.
I won't be a stranger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give it up for Sean, Puffy, Diddy, Combs. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. A Bad Boy Story is available now on Apple Music.
Right, man. You know, Wendy, we had a good friend of ours, P. Diddy, who came by the show, and
oh, okay.
Yeah, and oh God, and we have this clip of something P. Diddy said about you.
What?
But he came out there confident as he was, laughing. In other words, to say, when do you behave yourself with me, then you're good with me. And so everybody was running helter-skelter. They either partook in it, they kept their silence, they turned the other way, or you had Wendy, who had her show, and she would throw in little bits and pieces here and there. Because whatever Diddy was doing on the outside, behind the scenes, she knew, because he was allegedly also doing that to her. She was in her office when...
Remember, I got off the air one day, and them total bitches were downstairs waiting, and everybody upstairs at the radio station is looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down. I wasn't yet married. My knight in shining armor screeched up in his car just out of nowhere. I didn't even know what was about to happen. I'm standing in the door like, what? And I'm literally about to go through. Now, I'm not like what, let's fight, because I'm not one of those type of broads. And plus, there was three of them. The little Chinese man that drove the van that they were coming. There was no security or anything. It was just them three fighting broads. And me. And my co-workers at SHOT standing upstairs trying to look down to see it all jump off. They all knew. When I said goodnight to everybody, everybody's pressed up against the window. I didn't even walk or bother asking, what are you all looking for? Because, you know, when the clock strikes, it's time to go. It is time to go. I didn't get a chance to hit the sidewalk before I knew it, out of nowhere. And there's a whole bunch of rah-rah going on outside, and I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And I send Cower and Skell out on the sidewalk, and he comes back in and says, it's total outside. And they were about to set it on you.
Allegedly, bad boy girl group came to her office, and they were prepared to have an entanglement, a punch-two with her. Oh yes, her hubby was there. And everybody in the office was looking, she'll tell you the story, was looking to see what was going to happen next. This was what was happening out there in the Wendy and the Puffy streets. And it took years. She kept in her own corner, and he kept a careful watch on her. Because I think when she realized that I can be taken out at any time, and you can take that any way you want to, allegedly, she knew that, you know what, this is how it's going to have to be. And she watched herself throughout the time. Wendy, we miss you. I have seen the comments. We need Wendy on Zoom right away. She has been saying this. She has been saying this. She has been saying this. May you get well sooner than later. May you get back to your old self sooner than later. And why do I keep up with these stories? Because One of you in the comments said, Fumi, it wasn't only, Cassie and this, there were also underage young children that were involved. That's why I do this. That's why I do this, because with everything that I have done, being in entertainment, I now know for fact, you can quote me, I do not recommend any child to go into show business. No, this is too disgusting for words. It's too disgusting for words. That all these years, this is what was going on. And those that want to come out and speak the truth can't speak the truth, because literally one man could not live in his truth, because he wanted to come out looking gangster. Because you know what, I'm from the streets, my daddy was a thug, I gotta be out here. But there are so many other respectable, wonderful human beings that are gay. What's the problem? It wasn't an issue, but yours was a matter of control. Diddy had to have one hell of an upbringing. Something happened to this man that turned his head and made him behave the way that he has behaved.
Diddy, for some reason, he's either incredibly arrogant and doesn't think that he can be taken down, or he believes that he's innocent, or he believes that there are people that would go down if he went down, and they wouldn't want that to happen. People in positions
all of that
of power.
could be true, or he could just be too far gone. He could be too far gone off the drugs.
Oh, you think he's
and the
really...
alcohol and the power and the ego, that he's just delusional as fuck.
That power does corrupt.
Oh
man.
my God!
You've seen it happen, huh?
Yes, a million times. Like man, this actually when I read the indictment, I'm reading it. I'm just like, this is just a dude that's power. He's super power trippy, super ego trippy, and it's the drugs and it's the alcohol, right? If you ask me, I think this man, this is a podcast, and this is what we do on a podcast.
This is allegedly.
Yes. I think this man has so much grief and trauma that he's just always trying to escape. That's why it's always so much drugs, so much alcohol, and sex. He probably just does that shit, just the run from whatever trauma he's never dealt with. I think it's the sex, the drugs, it just helps him to escape, and he's always constantly trying to escape. Because that's the other thing people are not talking about in this indictment. All the drugs they found, ketamine, coke, ecstasy. They said the night he turned himself in, they picked him up or whatever, he had fucking pink powder in the room. Clearly the guy got a problem. Clearly.
That's all I gotta say, my darlings. Wendy, you did a good job, and there will never be anybody like you. Nobody like you. This was the beef between Wendy and Diddy. It came down to Wendy knew who he was, and he was trying to conceal it. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, my darlings, and I will see you what? I'll see you in Manchester on the 5th. All of my love, darlings.
Your perfect world.